Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast Unleashed. I'm Pup Twigs from Orlando, Florida, and we have as our guest on this episode is Pup Baymax from Charlotte, North Carolina. How's it going?
It's going really well. How about you?
Oh, I am doing awesome here. Weather's beautiful. You can't complain.
I get that.
So let's get into a little bit about the beginnings of Pup Baymax. So talking about your hood and your hood colors, is there any significant representation based on the colors that you have chosen?
There is actually. So one of the biggest representations I have are actually going to be the camo fur, or
Yes.
I'm sorry, yeah, the camo fur. That's actually in relation to my life as a military brat. When I was growing up, my dad was in the military, so it's a little bit of an homage to him. So I want to be able to definitely indicate that I support our military and as well as our active duty veteran pups out there.
Oh yeah, hats off to all of them. I totally agree with you on that.
Oh yeah.
So what, how did you come up with the name as Pup Baymax?
So not too long ago, I was actually an employee for the Walt Disney World Company. I worked at specifically Magic Kingdom, and in that area during that time, I earned the nickname Baymax. It was right around the time that Big Hero 6 came out. And I melded so well with it just because of who the character is in Big Hero 6 that I wanted that to be my puppy Sona. I feel like being just kind of there as a caregiver because that's been my entire identity, my entire life.
Okay.
So,
So I know you used to live here in Orlando. Do you miss it or?
I do miss it. I definitely miss being really close to like the theme parks,
Yes.
especially very, very close to the beach. I miss the beach so much.
I understand. Yeah, it's a great place to live. So how long have you been in the pup community?
I've been in the pup community now for about 2 years, I would say.
Okay. And is there a specific what we call born date when Pup Baymax started, or
Yes, that was January 15th, 2021.
oh, well, just one day after my birthday? I'm my actual human birthday, January 14th. So
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
Awesome. So what got you interested in the puppy community?
Well, honestly, I would have to say that the very beginning of it had to be when I downloaded TikTok for the very first time. That's probably not the best answer in the world, but um, without that type of exposure of seeing various different pups, um, I honestly would have never known that the pup community really truly existed.
Hmm.
I was kind of sheltered for most of my life. So once I kind of got the confidence to be able to just go to buy my very first pup hood, it's just been pretty much straight from there, and it's become a wonderful addition to my personality.
Yeah, I can't. I agree with you totally. It's been great for me, and I haven't been in it all that long, but it's been amazing.
Oh yeah.
So thinking about the pup community, what has been the easiest for you, and what's been the most difficult for you being a pup?
The easiest I probably would have to say is the form of escapism it provides.
Hmm.
Um, so for me in particular, I just want a opportunity to be able to come home from work and or just come home from school and just be able to just kind of not think about much.
Hmm.
Honestly, just do as little as I possibly can. And pup pupism just honestly fits that mold so well. And as far as one of the hardest parts, it has to be that it's not really out there all too often. Like, um, I mentioned earlier that my beginning started because of TikTok, only because I've seen that exposure. But
Hmm.
I feel like outside of that, there's not a whole lot of exposure out there. And that's definitely one of the things I want to be able to change in the pup community.
Okay, good, good. So maybe this leads into the next question. If there's something that you could change about our community, What would that be?
That would definitely be a lot more exposure.
Okay.
I feel like being a pup honestly has to be one of the most rewarding opportunities that anybody has to honestly do. Because there's just so much different aspects to it. It's hard to just pick one. But for me, honestly, it's just I've had an opportunity to meet so many different amazing individuals, and people that you never really expect to identify as a pup or really anything in that realm. And they led me to amazing opportunities.
Well, good, good. So what kind of hobbies do you have?
I actually have a lot.
Hey, that's
uh,
good.
Oh yeah, I would have to say that my most expensive one is probably traveling. I've traveled to different parts of the world. Um, Specifically, I've been to the Dominican Republic. I've been to Mexico. Um, I've been to California. Pretty much all over. And one of my least expensive ones, but can lead to be expensive, is probably drawing. Um, and if it's good with you, I wanted to kind of show off a little bit of my artwork.
Oh, of course. We would love that.
Absolutely. Um, so I actually started off with artwork that's very similar to this. This is actually one of the arts that I made uh, for a pup a long time ago, uh, and this is the very beginning of my artwork. Later on, I started adapting and being able to create a lot more backgrounds into it.
Oh, that is so nice.
Thank you. My most recent project was actually for a very specific pup here in Charlotte, um, and I'm waiting to be able to give it to him. But this is definitely uh, one of my favorite pastimes. I love creating canvas works and
Oh,
being able to
yes.
provide.
Well, you're good at it. Those are look awesome.
Well, thank you,
What a cool hobby to have.
thank you.
I wish I was artistic, but I'm not. So I just that's not one of my hobbies at all. But I love when I can see it from other people. It's so amazing. So any pets?
So I have co-ownership of a cat. So I'm technically her stepfather. I
Okay.
would have to say, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, Her name is Evelyn, and she goes by the nickname Evil Wins because evil always wins from her eyes.
I totally understand. I have three cats, so yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
understand it totally. So how does Pup Baymax identify? Do you identify as a beta, omega, or an alpha?
I actually identify as a Delta. There's not a whole lot of representation for Delta,
Mhm.
and it's that weird in between Omega and Beta. Uh, so I have the opportunity to be kind of looked at as like a mentor, and I have the capability to be able to kind of take charge if I ever need to.
Mhm.
Um, but it still represents a lot of what an Omega is. Um, so definitely outgoing. I honestly believe that like they are the ones who kind of set the tone for the pack.
Yeah. Well, speaking of packs, do you belong to a group there in Charlotte or a pack in Charlotte?
Um, Not a particular group, not a particular pack that I'm a part of. Um, I've been in and out of packs before, and honestly, I feel like I'm just much better off kind of being a solo pup.
Okay, and that's understandable as well. Um, so if you had someone that was new or wanting to get into the pup community, what kind of advice would you share with them?
Absolutely. So the biggest advice that I would give is actually just delve right into it. There's no right way to be able to go into the pup community. A lot of people have this preconceived notion that they have to come up with the colors for their hood, or they have to come up with a specific name, or they just have to have like that collar before they can officially start. Just go straight into it. Um, Honestly, most people identify as a pup without having a hood or a collar
Hmm.
or even having a name. Um, and that's perfectly cool. In fact, in the community, there's still people out there on all different levels of pupism.
Yeah, great, great, great advice. Um, so what kind of events do you have going on in the Charlotte area, or do you have any that you know of?
Yeah, absolutely. In Charlotte, there's actually a pup event that happens at a local LGBT bar, and it's called the Woodshed,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's known as Pup Night, and it's hosted by Howling. That's actually ran by Pup Theo. It's also ran by various different other pups, Pup Minty, and it's a wonderful experience. If I had to be a part of an organization, it had to be that one. I volunteer for them a lot to help with that exposure.
Okay, good, good. Well, let's say our next person that comes on the for the podcast, you want to know something about them. Uh, if you could ask them one question, what would that be?
Yeah. What is your favorite toy?
Oh, that's the first time we've had that question. That's a good one.
Oh yeah.
So let me give you the one that I got from. This is from Pup Neo, which was from London, Ontario, Canada. And he wanted to know what got you interested in the pup play community.
So what got me interested into it beyond just trying to honestly see exposure through TikTok was that I have always identified kind of as a dog. My Chinese zodiac, for example, is a canine. I am the dog. I was born in Dog of the Year or
Okay.
Year of the Dog, and I I just have that sense of loyalty. But um, honestly, it's a unique perspective on life. To be honest, I think that's really why I'm still continuing it today. It's just absolutely um, a wonderful opportunity to not only meet new individuals, but find out different parts of yourself, find out what you're comfortable with, what you're not. Um, I know a lot of different pups, and they're all over the spectrum. Um, and being able to kind of be exposed to that in that kind of way almost is kind of safe, but
Hmm.
exhilarating at the same time.
Okay. And we've had over the last couple of days when I've done other podcasts, we've had some people come up and talking about that it's not only just pups, that there's many other that we want to welcome into our community. I had one that they said we have a horse, we have a cat, we have even a dragon that comes out when they have their puppy events, which I think is amazing. I would love for that to happen here in Orlando as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When I was actually still in Orlando, there was a lot of different, um, I would say, different furs that were out there.
Hmm.
Not one that I would specifically say that are Orlando, but I'm probably already familiar with the one that might identify as a horse. Um, I've definitely come into contact with them a few times. And then here in Charlotte, there's actually a lot more cats, more than I would say that are dogs in the community.
Yeah, now I haven't seen any cats here yet, but I have seen the horse, the dragon, uh, but no cats so far. But I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
Oh yeah, they're wonderful. They're a wonderful addition.
Oh yes, yes. So let's say some pups wanted to reach out to you, say hi, or hey, I saw you on an episode of Unleashed. How might they do that?
Honestly, they could do it through Telegram. That's the best way to be able to get in contact with me. I actually go by my name, Puppy Baymax, and I'm usually the very first search result. You can also reach me through TikTok, and then uh, that those are really kind of the only two as far
Okay,
as puppy. But I'm looking to be able to expand that.
okay. Well, anything else you want to share before we get off of this?
Um, Nothing else that really comes to mind. I'm honestly just really happy that I had the opportunity to be able to come on to your podcast. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
It's it's odd. Two months ago, it was an idea, and now you're episode number 22. And so it's been such a blast for me because I've got to talk to some amazing pups. Sometimes I have pups ambush me, and all of a sudden I have six of them on my screen at one time, which no complaints. I love it. But I just want to, you know, paint a positive light with this community, and hopefully this helps do that are these podcasts that we do with pups all over the world.
Absolutely. And I definitely respect that. Honestly, like I feel like we need more exposure in the pup community. So thank you so much for what you do.
Oh, you're totally welcome because this is such a joy for me every time I get to do it. I look forward to it every day and
Awesome.
everything. Well, on behalf of Pup Twigs here in Orlando, Florida, and Pup Baymax in Charlotte, North Carolina, we're going to say goodbye.
Bye.